shadows stretch beyond the fire. There's more than flesh in what they are. There's something driven, yeah, something higher. She feels the ground before it breaks. He hears the storm before it calls. Through senses drawn from different worlds, yet both still answer when it calls. No voice declares this sacred thread. No priest has carved it into stone, but in their steps, in breath and blood, it lives in ways the mind's not shown. Flame does not burn to stand alone. Earth does not hold without the spark. And where they meet, the unseen grows a living fire beneath the dark. And if the sky should fall in ash, if iron sings across the blade, she will not stand behind his shield, nor fade into the fear of pain. For in her veins the same fire runs, in her hands the weight of fate. And side by side where shadows break, she rises fierce. She stands as equal in the wake. Not just the keeper of their home, not just the calm the world has known, but when the night demands the blade, she is the storm. He's never faced alone. And in that clash of flame and earth, no side is lost, no bond undone. For what they guard is more than life, it is the two, forever one. No shelter, the sky is her only call. She fears no shadow on the ground, few dare to draw near her for light. For those who are born in the highest places learn early how to rule the height. When she descends, the world never bear. In the silence of the mountain, she rests at the top of the world. She watches the land. She can fly through the heights in silence. She can hunt with her falling dance. Powerful talons, wings like a shield, beauty carved in feather colors, symbol of banners, creature revered, creature that lives at the top of the From the ground, curious eyes rise upward, trying to grasp her might. Some see strength, some see kingdom, some see modern sight. Painted on cloth and rising standard, forged in iron, a nation's pride. Never knowing her throne was never something mankind could claim or decide. She fights for no crown, knows no borders, swears no oath to names, carries no banners. While men still dispute the skies, she simply belongs to them. In the silence of the mountain, she rests at the top of the world. She watches the land. She can fly through the heights in silence. She can hunt with her falling dance, symbol of banners, creature revered, creature that lives at the top of the Every day I wake up in the same place, the same voices, the same clock turning its face. My hands fulfill all promises, while my eyes search for other lines. There are folded maps inside of me, paths my feet have never known. I read the stories of those who left, as if through them I traveled catching fire without the burn. Every tale is a step imagined, every night a place to turn. It's not escape, it's a promise that time will still fulfill. Even standing still, I carry all the roads I someday me stay, nor the lack of will to go. It's the silent weight of the world teaching me how to endure it all. The road does not call my name, but I hear it all the same. It calls me softly in silence from somewhere deep inside my flame. I remain bound to between duties and endless ways. The road does not call my name, but it waits for me, I know. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but no true dream ever learns to die. It only waits in sorrow. The road does not call my name, and I remain here still. But every step I do not take, morning finds the same old stones under feet that know their place. Wooden doors, familiar roads, another dawn, another grace. The bell still rings at early light. The market wakes, the swallows rise. I've walked these paths my whole life long, and still they never ask me why. shield, not flame, but with a quiet, faithful heart. The world keeps turning in these hands that chose to stay and not depart. I don't need to run, I don't need to prove what I am still remains. If this is all my road allows, then this is more than I once knew. For some are born to cross the world, and some are born to see it through. The same old stones, the same soft light, a life that learned to end just right. On the cold edge of a forgotten town, where time weighs heavier than winter, she walks with tired, measured steps, carrying promises that were never hers. Hands marked by days without choice, eyes that have watched hope depart. While others dream of possible futures, she sustains lives, forgetting her own. Beauty surrounded by silence, strength she never asked to hold. Between duty and desire, her heart learns how to endure. She lived where honor had no voice, but lived in restraint, in a gaze that would not take. Not everything that shines must be touched. Not every love is born of hunger. There are choices that save destinies, even when they deny possession. Honor remains where tragedy does not need to be born. A traveler crosses the town's last line, dust of the world upon his shoulders. He sees beyond shape and color, sees the hidden weight in her quiet gesture. He asks not what he might receive, but what may still be healed. And when he calls unnamed forces, the home begins to breathe again. When healing silences the pain, a relief arrives without promise. She confuses gratitude one that leaves no shadow on the path. And in that unfamiliar silence, she begins to understand. It was not a rejection, it was respect for who she had yet to the ground beneath her feet. The future no longer feels distant nor built upon obligation. Among encounters never forced, a new step becomes possible. Not as escape, not as death, but as a conscious choice. She lived where honor had no voice, but lived in restraint, in a gaze that protects. Not every love possession, not every refusal is lost. There are acts that change directions without taking anything in return. Honor remains, and from it, life is born. And when the winds change their course, not all must be remembered. Some stories survive the passing of time because they were written with honor, not with fear. The same. I stood where banners touch the sky, where blood and honor share the same ground. I never questioned why we fought until the silence became too loud. I looked at my hands, stained and worn, no glory staring back at me. Only the weight of all I'd done and what it taught silently. Between choices, where strength begins to change its form. The blade grows quiet in my hand, but the fire inside is not gone. One battle taught my soul and left the rest remain hollow. The gods of war still know my face. The blood remembers where I stand. But now I walk another road with open eyes and empty hands. This is the interval between choices, where strength learns how to see. Not as conquest, not as death, but as responsibility. The blade rests, the heart remains. The fire never died in me. It only learned a different way to guard what still dares to live. I did not leave the war behind. The war finally left me. The rain falls over the city, and everything keeps moving on. Hasty steps, closed hands, umbrellas like shadows in motion. No one stopped because of it, they only changed the rhythm. Wet streets reflecting tired lights, late buses, half-finished coffees, small irritations running down the sidewalks along with the ordinary day of those who just go on. Some complain about cold sleeves, some rush without looking around. But the city learns without even noticing to walk beneath what it cannot control. Because not every resistance is strength, and not every rush leads ahead. Sometimes going on is already a choice. Sometimes yielding is also moving forward. The rain does not block the road, it only changes the rhythm. It falls the same on every name, yet each one feels it differently. It asks no permission, makes no promises, it only teaches how to go on. The rain does not break the road, it teaches another way to walk. Far from haste and concrete, it touches the earth like silence. It cleans leaves, erases traces, closes circles, time once open. The sound grows lower, deeper. The world breathes without explanation. There is something ancient in this constant fall, as if everything remembers where it came from. And for a moment, no one needs to conquer the day, just to exist within it. It also sing early in the morning. The sun rises before dawn. The morning breeze is gentle and warm. The wild animals seem happy. We can walk around shirtless. We go to the little river on summer afternoons for a swim. Life reveals itself vibrant, full of light, full of colorful emotions. There's a warmth that warms the soul, a natural warmth. Finally, summer has arrived. We love winter, but summer sometimes surpasses that love. We harvest honey, there are seasonal fruits and roots, fish of all kinds, rabbits and land birds, cooked delicious. We stay up late in the village streets. We can make love with our beautiful wives in the woods. There by the river, at home. Of course, provided the children aren't around, preferably far away, playing in the village. A child's place is to be a child. An adult's place is with adults. We barbarians know how to care for our children, our voice. Love needs to be nurtured and guided. The love between a couple. But there are other loves, different from the love between a couple. Love for children. That's why we tend to be healthy and happy. But what was I talking about again? I was talking about summer. I was talking about summer. I think I drank too much beer. Excuse me. I'm going for a swim in the river.